Our first topic for today, it's just me who's seen this one, but it's Star Wars, the new Star Wars, the Book of Boba Fett.
Tell
I
us
guess I'll just
all
give my
about
thoughts.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the Book of Boba Fett. Oh, it's so disappointing. I think honestly...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is probably... Since Disney Plus launched, we've had some amazing Star Wars and Marvel shows, and this might be the first miss. And here's the thing, they're not doing anything wrong. It just feels like the Mandalorian with its arm tied behind its back, because it takes place entirely in Tatooine, and you got a lot of great callbacks to Return of the Jedi and a little bit of Attack of the Clones and stuff. But I feel like the biggest problem with the Book of Boba Fett is they forgot about everything that makes Boba Fett cool, and they butchered him a little bit. So when you think of Boba Fett, what do you think? You think a guy with a helmet, he's mysterious, he doesn't talk much, he's a brutal bounty hunter who'll kill for money. Not in this show. He almost never wears the helmet. He talks, he carries the whole show on his shoulders, because there's basically no supporting character. There's like two supporting characters. So it's all this one actor who's got to carry all the weight. With Star Wars, it's often exciting because they got all these different locations. It's all in Tatooine. It really just feels like they ran out of ideas with this one. They've tried to make Boba Fett like an anti-hero, but they could have just done the Punisher. But no, instead he's now owns Jabba's palace. He's killed people who took over that. And he's negotiating with the Hutts, and the first 4 episodes so far have all been about how he survived the Sarlacc pit, and he grew up, and so he spent a few years living with the Sand People, and it's just all this shit that I do not care about. Give me the helmet.
Sucks.
Get him shooting people for no reason.
What was what was the explanation of how he survived the Sarlacc pit, or the pit of Carcoon?
So he survived the Sarlacc pit by, 1, his armor really protected the acids from disintegrating, and then 2, he just fought his way out. He had some fire, he had some grenade, I think he had some weapons, and he just crawled his way out. There were a whole bunch of dead stormtroopers in there, but Boba's got so many weapons. You sort of see him start to get out, and then they sort of cut ahead, and you see his hand come out of the sand. But yeah, after that, what you find is he's really injured, and he spends 4 episodes worth of flashbacks, living with the Sand People, learning their language and they start teaching them their ways, and apparently it changes his personality. So he doesn't want to be a leader that's feared. He wants to be a leader that's respected. So he's instead of going around shooting questions, shoot first, ask questions later, he's always negotiating with people, and it just doesn't feel like Boba Fett,
Yeah.
When you think of Boba Fett, you think of this ruthless mercenary who doesn't talk much, but now he does all the talking. Yeah, mysterious. He's not mysterious. He never wears the helmet. He's always showing compassion and mercy, and it's everything this show could have been, it's the opposite. We expected this to be Star Wars' chance, show us the gritty underworld. It could have been the most mature Star Wars yet. But instead, it just feels like a less interesting version of The Mandalorian. I've already got this show from The Mandalorian, he almost never takes his helmet off. With this one, he never puts his helmet on. So...
It's probably the opposite, shouldn't it? Or...
Yeah! You'd think so, but no.
How long is it?
Sorry?
How long is the series? It's 6 episodes? Or?
I think it's about 6. I'm not sure, but we're I think 4 episodes in.
Yeah.
And it's looking like it might get better, because at the point of recording this, they've sort of done all the flashbacks. They've caught up to current times. It was sort of doing a Lost thing where they go back and forth between, memories and now and all that crap. But, oh boy, I'm finding myself really bored sometimes. I'm watching it and I'm bored out of my mind, and I can't believe I'm bored watching a Star Wars show in 2022.
Do you have any
that-
positives to take out of it? Anything that you liked?
Like, nothing new that The Mandalorian's not already doing.
Okay.
The special effects are great. The sets are amazing. They're using a lot of puppets, which is a nice, refreshing change from the prequels. But I think the actor, I forget his name, who plays...
Tamura Morrison.
Yeah, him. He's not strong enough as an actor to lead a show. And I feel like he's also acting with one arm tied behind his back because he's got to do the cool voice all the time. So he doesn't really emote much.
He was Jango Fett.
Yeah.
He was playing Boba and... Yeah. There's a complaint I heard. There's a YouTube channel I really love. It's probably my favorite YouTube channel called Red Letter Media. When they looked at this show, they said the weird thing is that when Boba Fett's in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, he's kind of like this. Sorry, yeah, Return of the Jedi and all the original trilogy. Oh. He's kind of more skinny and more tall and skinny.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas in the new show, Tamura Morrison's more shorter and very bulky, like overweight. They say it's a complete different figure to how he is in the original trilogy.
I actually thought that watching The Mandalorian, because like he's wearing the outfit and it's not fitting him the same. Like it's clearly played by a much older actor. Who's there's a scene where he's shirtless in Boba Fett, and he's in good shape for his age. Like he's in decent shape, but it's clearly a different person that was in Return of Jedi. Things like that I'm willing to let slide, but again, this is the problem when you do retcons and stuff. Like, they went back and they changed his voice in special editions. And
well, they would recommend you do the kid from Episode 2, the Boba Fett in Episode 2 grown up.
I think the idea is Boba is a clone of Jango. So having the same actor who played Jango play him, it makes sense. The face looks the same and stuff.
But, like, you do all the scenes with him having the helmet on... because you'd probably be skinnier, and then have the Tamura Morrison's voice or something like that, or do something along those lines.
Well, that would be easy, but he hardly ever wears the outfit. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, if you're making a show on anything, if you're making a show based on any franchise, I think the first thing you should think to yourself is, okay, what are the things people want to see? And they did this in Matrix Resurrections. They actually list out what do people want to see. Bullet time, sunglasses. Like, when you think, if you're saying, let's make a Boba Fett show, go, okay, well, we've got to have the cool costume. He's got to be mysterious. He's got to be ruthless. We see everything. Like, we see the Rancor. That's back. That's a whole plot point of he has to get the Rancor. We see Jabba's palace. We see everything that we know about him to do with. We even get a flashback to Kamino where he's a kid. And I use some footage from Episode 2. But it's like, they've put him on this character arc, which really doesn't suit what you want out of the character. Like, if you're watching, I don't know, it's what I don't like about the Zack Snyder Justice League stuff. When I see Superman, I want to see truth, justice, being positive. But in the Zack Snyder movies, he's like a fucking emo kid who's just like, oh, we should be scared of Superman. What if he rips the roof off the White House? It's like, no, he represents hope. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, man, that's my thoughts of Book of Boba Fett. I don't mean to go on for that long. If you're going to watch something Star Wars, watch The Mandalorian. It is so much more fun. It is so much better.